At last, the fleet reached Obera, landing in the green and golden region of Lyrica. The air was warm, the hills untouched by war, and the weary Illyrians felt a quiet hope stir within them. Elberyn stood beneath the open sky, offering thanks to Hertha, their guiding star. In a nearby city, King Tygarth learned of their arrival. Aged and wise, with silver in his beard and no son to inherit his throne, he had only his daughter, Orella, unwed and closely guarded. Her fate, it was said, would shape the kingdom's future. Seeking guidance, Tygarth had consulted the oracle of Oshan La, his prophetic father, who spoke, "Do not give your daughter to a man of Lyrica. Foreigners will come, and their mingled blood will raise our name among the stars." Tygarth pondered these words deeply. When the Illyrians arrived, outsiders marked by omens and hardship led by a man touched by the machine gods, he knew the prophecy was unfolding. He summoned his court and rode out in peace to meet the strangers. Beneath Lyrica's twin moons, king met king. Tygarth welcomed Elberyn with open arms, offering land to build and thrive upon. And more than that, the hand of Orella. But peace, as ever, was short-lived. From the high reaches of the stars, Lurgo watched, still bitter from the ruin of Arkech and the slow triumph of fate, saw in this alliance a final insult. Elberyn, that Illyrian stray, welcomed in Lyrica, offered land, offered a bride. It could not stand. If she could not stop the future, then let it come at a cost of blood and fire. She descended unseen into the minds of mortals, whispering where they were weakest. First, she turned to Queen Davitsia, wife of Tygarth. Davitsia had long hoped her daughter Orella would marry Gothric, the bold and native prince of the Dolkadens. The idea of a foreigner, some exile from afar, taking her daughter and her kingdom's future, filled her with quiet dread. Lurgo stoked that dread into flame. The queen's heart turned feverish, and her mind broke loose from reason. In a frenzy, she seized Orella and fled into the forests, shrieking that her daughter had been taken, stolen by strangers, sold to an invading race. Others followed. Women left their homes and joined her cries. Lurgo then sought Gothric in his chambers, where he slept beneath his battle flags. The proud, fierce Dolkaden prince, once promised Orella's hand, now faced displacement by a foreigner. Lurgo slipped into his dreams.
Gothric, do you not see? You are betrayed. The king gives your bride to a stranger, stealing your future. Will you kneel to exiles, bow to fate, and let your name be buried?
Gothric only smiled in his sleep, wise to her games. Lurgo's patience snapped. Casting off her illusion, she unveiled her divine form, radiant circuitry and gleaming steel, light cracking through the dream world's seams. She flooded Gothric's mind with war, wrath surging through him like voltage. He awoke, gasping, eyes wild, heart pounding, the dream still burning within. By dawn, he was riding. He called his war council, roused his soldiers, and sent swift envoys to the fierce mountain clans and western river tribes. The drums of war began to sound. When news of Gothric's uprising reached the palace, King Tygarth stood silent. The tide had shifted too swiftly, pieces fragile bloom scattered by a divine wind. Urged by his court to rally Lyrica's legions, he shook his head and withdrew behind closed chamber doors, sitting alone as shadows crept across the floor. He would not defy his father's prophetic will. Control passed to younger, fiercer hands. The court and war councils rallied to Gothric, who by acclamation, became commander, his magnetic fury uniting them under one banner. Above, Lurgo glided silently across the sky to the Temple of Janus, where the gates of war stood, massive ancient metal doors, sealed by decree in times of peace. Only Lyrica's king could open them in war. With a sweep of her mechanical arm, Lurgo shattered the seals. Bolts shrieked, and with a grinding of stone, the gates of war yawned open. The sound of heavy metal echoed through the land,